Hey everyone, it's Jana Verbakel, Realtor in London, Ontario. As always, check us out at londonsbest.ca. Now, I've done some videos before about why it's important to choose an agent that you feel really comfortable with and you trust their experience and their guidance. And in this market, which is a total seller's market with typically multiple offers coming in on a listing, I can't stress again how important it is to really trust that your agent knows what they're doing and that you've discussed a plan with them and that you've discussed both the benefits and the risks to the plan that you choose. So what's becoming very common in this marketplace is for an agent to list a property, let's say on a Monday, and in the listing instructions saying, showings can begin anytime, but we will not be looking at offers until Saturday. So in this strategy, you're basically giving 6 days for realtors to show their buyers this property, with the goal being that by the offer deadline, you have multiple offers. So you're basically creating this bidding war where you likely will get the best possible offer because you've got a number of buyers who may lose the property if they don't put their best foot forward. So this was becoming a very common approach, and all of a sudden this is what everyone started doing. And the reason they were doing it is because it works, because you build up this pent-up demand, and all of a sudden you have people who fear that they might lose the property, and they do. They put their best foot forward. Now, buyer's agents, on the other hand, are working to represent their buyers. And so a lot of clever buyer's agents, myself included, would basically get through that property on the first day, knowing that it was likely going to go into multiples and being able to generally gauge where those multiple offers could go. And we would take an approach of, let's present this seller with an offer that they can't refuse. So well above the asking price, typically no conditions, meeting their closing date. And a funny thing would happen is you would think that the seller would say, no, I want to see what the best offer is that comes to the table on my offer night. But the majority of the time, that wasn't happening. And because the offer was good, they would take it. Now, the question is that the best possible price that the seller could have got? And unfortunately with real estate, I've said this before, there are no do-overs. You don't get to replicate the conditions and see what would have happened had you not done that. But I wanted to share two different stories with my own personal experience and clients that kind of highlight the risks and the benefits of both situations. And this is why I think it's so important that you have an honest discussion about what can actually happen with your realtor and what's best for you and what's ultimately going to help you sleep at night. There is a form now called Form 244, and it's now the buzzword in real estate. And basically what that form says is that the seller can give their agent a written direction not to convey an offer. So what that means, it's, basically before, in the situation I discussed, when I came to that agent on the very first day with an offer, although they had said no offers until Sunday, it is that agent's professional and legal obligation to present that offer to their client. So they say, listen, Bob, I know we said no offers till Sunday, but Jana and her client have come with a really amazing offer. It's for this price, this closing. What do you want to do? And then it's up to the seller as to whether they accept it, decline it, and say, no, I do want to wait till Saturday, or if they choose to counter. And again, in that situation where I said you'd think that the seller would stick to the original plan, but a funny thing happens when you put a legally binding offer for a lot of money, a lot more money than the asking price. The sellers often start to second guess themselves, will I get more money than this on offer night? Maybe it is just better to take it. And that's their decision and their decision alone. But their agent is there to guide them. And I think that before they ever see that offer, they should be informed as to the outcomes, the possible outcomes of each situation, because once the offer is in front of them, it's too late. You can't go back at that point. So this Form 244 is basically a form that you prepare in advance of your listing or at the time you sign the listing, where you tell your agent, we have come up with a plan not to look at offers until Sunday. I am giving you written direction to not even tell me you have an offer until Sunday. So if someone knocks on the door with an offer for $100,000 more than my asking price, I don't even want to know about it until Sunday. And that's at the seller's direction. So if the realtor does tell the seller about that offer, they're actually breaking their agreement. So there are different approaches. And so this is becoming a really long video, but one situation, I'll try to make it quick. I had a listing and we had a crazy amount of showings. We weren't looking at offers until the weekend. Very first day, I get a bully offer. And I had a Form 244 signed. So I told the agent, I'm not even telling it to my client. And it wasn't even that great anyway. And then the next day, I get another bully offer. It was quite a bit better, but still not as good as they knew we could do. But still, I said, I've signed this form. I'm not telling my client. I then get a third bully offer for a pretty generous price. And I tell them, listen, I'm not presenting to my client because we're not looking at these forms. And they made the threat, well, if you don't take it, we're not going to show up on offer night. So fast forward to offer night, because that was our approach, and that offer actually didn't turn up at the table. And as we were going through these offers, we ended up accepting an offer that was $10,000 more than the highest bully offer that we received. So in this case, not telling my client to accept or to, even look at offers was the right thing to do. And I kind of asked him, I said, hey, listen, had I come to you on this day and told you that I had an offer for you for this price, would you have taken it? And his answer was, yes. So a perfect example of where signing that form actually put an extra $10,000 in my client's pocket. Now, on the flip side, I've been a buyer's agent where I've tried to put in the bully offer and it wasn't accepted. And then you've seen a property sell for less money than your bully offer. And that's happening more and more. I think sellers are hearing how hot the market is. And so they're almost kind of, I want to say, turning their nose up at some offers. So there have been some cases where we've seen it like that. So I don't want to say that every single time you should turn down a bully offer. If it's a number that works for you, that's great. But the whole point of this is that you need to know kind of what type of seller you are, if you're a risk taker, if you're not a risk taker, if there's a certain number that would be, the ultimate price, then that's a discussion you need to have with your agent. And my sense is that maybe people are getting so caught up in the listing process and they're just really excited to get a listing. Maybe they're sort of glazing over these details because they deal with when you look at the offer and not listing, but you have to do it before. You have to have a strategy. It's the only way that you're going to be able to sleep at night after you get your house on the market. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Sorry for the long video, but it's something that's really, really relevant to what we're dealing with in today's market. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. And as always, check us out at londonsbest.ca. Hope you're having a great day.